guys. It's Angela at Nothing Special Tarot. Happy new moon in Pisces. So, yeah, as you can see, I am not dressed to go out and do anything. I was going to clean today because I have Pisces in the fourth house of home. And the new moon is good for a little bit of release, intention setting, planting seeds. And when I say release, I mean, what do you need to release to call in the new, right? So I was sitting here reflecting on that, and my ex did not show up to retrieve his stuff, which was part of my releasing ritual for the day. So his flakiness has turned into your tarot reading. I sat here with Spirit and meditated on the cards, pulled some cards, and I got a message for somebody. I don't know who, and I don't know what your sign is. So let's just consider this an all signs collective tarot reading, okay? For the Pisces new moon. Somebody out there is having some trouble making a decision, executing a plan. And I say that because the first cards that I pulled, and I'm going to show you the deck that I'm using, Path of Shadows. I just got this. I really like it. All right, so the first card that I pulled was Procrastination. And I'll read to you what it says because it's probably kind of hard to see. The ticking of the clock distracts me from the fact that my worst enemy hides in my mind. Okay. The second card that I pulled was Mirror Labyrinth. I'm going to show you the card. Illusions and reflections. Who are you trying to hide? When you turn your back to the mirror, there's still someone looking at you. So it feels like somebody is deep in their head more than anything, worried about a decision that they have to make, not sure how to go about making the decision. And I say that because I pulled some tarot, and I'm using today the Buffy tarot. If you know, you know why. Hulu sucks. But yeah, the first card that I pulled was the Two of Scythes, or the Two of Swords. So before I go further, let me just reassure you, if you don't watch Buffy, you don't need to watch Buffy to understand these cards. They speak for themselves. But if you do watch it, you're probably going to get a little bit of a deeper meaning, but it's fine. I'm going to explain them as we go on, okay? So the first card that I pulled is the Two of Scythes, or the Two of Swords, okay? This in traditional tarot is the woman sitting blindfolded with the two swords across like this. She's got a decision to make, but she's frozen with indecision. She is blindfolded because she can't see, and she's trying to go within and make the right decision. And there might be other options besides these two options that it appears she has, but she's not seeing it because of the blindfold. Probably making this more stressful for you is the Eight of Stakes, or the Eight of Wands. This is a card of swift communication. This is emails and phone calls and conversations and people coming at you with lightning speed, pressuring you to make this decision, whatever decision this is. And I truly don't know if this is like family, relationship, work, health, but it's a big decision. That I do know. So you're feeling frozen with indecision, not sure if you have it in you to make this decision. You've got other people pressuring you to make the decision. And in the root of the spread here, we've got the Seven of Scythes, or also the Seven of Swords. Now, normally the Seven of Swords is a card of dishonesty, duplicity, hiding, but it can also be about strategy, right? It doesn't have to mean dishonesty from other people or even dishonesty within yourself, although that's always something you can question. But it's about looking at different ways to do things, really thinking it through and saying, okay, is there something I haven't considered? Because if you see, he's walking away with most of the scythes or the swords and leaving a couple behind. And in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, it's basically this exact same thing. And we can imagine that he's taking these to prevent further attack on his village. Now, with this card, it's Ethan Rayne, and if you watch the show, you know, he's probably stealing them just to steal them and use them in some really ill-intentioned magic spell. But I think what Spirit's saying here is collective. There's something you haven't considered. There's a different way of looking at this. There's a strategy that you can take. It's just a matter of coming up with it. In the recent past, we have the Wheel of Fortune. What this means for me is the Wheel of Fortune is already turning, like it or not, okay? The Wheel of Fortune goes up and it goes down, and someone's calling me. Hold on. I'm using my phone to record this. There we go. Sorry about that. So the Wheel of Fortune, it's always spinning, no matter what you do, right? Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. And the minute that you're up, it's going to keep spinning and you'll be down again. That's just the cycle of life. That's like the ebb and flow, right? And I think what Spirit is saying here with this in your past is the wheels already started turning. You've got to make a decision. You've got to make a decision. In the Strengths position, we have the King of Stakes or the King of Wands. Now, normally, you are not somebody who shies away from making a decision. Normally, you are decisive and bold and action-oriented, and you don't question yourself after you make the decision. You make the plan, you execute the plan, and you know that it's a good plan. So that's what you have going for you. I'm not sure why you're not feeling very King of Wands right now. Maybe we can ask Tarot. I'm going to the next card though. In your very near future, you've got the Queen of Scythes or the Queen of Swords. This queen is also decisive, right? She also takes action. She has no problem using her swords to slice away what doesn't need to be there. She is logical, she is dispassionate, and she's also very, very smart. So it looks like if you can get over your feelings, because I got this card reversed, the Ace of Cups, you're going to be able to come to a good decision that's healthy for you and healthy for anybody else that might be involved. The Ace of Cups is usually a new beginning, right? A new beginning in love, an increase in creativity, maybe an increase in psychic gifts. But when it's reversed, that's being blocked by something. So I think what Spirit is saying is, hey, use your bold nature, move into your logical nature, but also unblock your feelings because you need everything on board to make this decision. In the external factors, we've got the Ten of Cups. And this is usually a really happy card, right? This is a happy card of family, of joy, of creativity, of everything being in its right place. And it looks like this is an option for you if you can get out of this funky energy that you're in. In your hopes and fears, we've got the Page of Stakes. Pages are sometimes messengers. I don't think that this is a message right now. I think maybe this is. You've probably already got lots of messages coming at you. But here, the Page of Stakes or the Page of Wands is saying, you've got to create a plan. You can't go out there, half cocked or not knowing what you're doing. And maybe that's the thing that's freezing you up, right? You know you have to have this plan and you're scared you're not going to be able to execute the plan. But if you figure out what the plan is and how to execute, it's going to have a really good outcome. The potential outcome here is the Four of Stakes or the Four of Wands. This is home sweet home. This is putting down roots. This is stability for everybody involved. This is a really good card to get. So I'm going to ask quickly for Spirit to help us out by giving us a little bit of advice. And let's go to Angels and Ancestors. Excuse me while I reach across the table. My very short arms. Did you get a good look at my scalp? I know that's always pleasant, right? You guys, this is like a tiny table, my tiny zero table, but I love it and I like doing this. So, all right, Spirit, what does collective need to know about ending the procrastination, making this decision? What could help them make the decision? Interesting. Okay. It's still a little cryptic, you guys. I might have to move on to another deck. So what we got is healing through the lineage and great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. I think what they're saying here is to look to your family, whether that's your family of origin or a family that you've created for yourself, right? Look at the ancestors, look at your family, lean on them for advice, look to them for examples of what worked and what didn't work, right? Because I'm sure there's examples of both of those things. Learn from the spiritual experiences, and I feel called to read the guidebook on this, so I'm going to get that and read it. Great teacher. Know that what is happening around you is divinely inspired. Learn from your current experiences, then share them with others. Interesting, still a little cryptic-y. All right, let's get this one. Are there any, Citadel. This is another one I've been using a lot lately. One of my favorites. It is basically a deck of archetypes. Are there any archetypes that would help collective make their decision? Besides great teacher. Ooh, do you guys hear that? The big truck outside. Any archetypes that would help the collective make their decision and stop procrastinating? Split. Okay, that's pretty clear cut. We got the warrior and we got the brawler. think what Spirit is saying here is not to have a lack of empathy, right? And don't be purposefully confrontational, but think of yourself first. Like the oxygen mask theory, I know tarot readers say this all the time, so do therapists, but it's true. You can't help anybody else if you can't breathe, right? If you're on an airplane and it's going down, you got to put on your own oxygen mask before you help anybody else. So I think what's at play here is oxygen mask theory. Consider yourself first. If that's part of what's happening, consider yourself first and don't be afraid to say no. If that's what you feel is the right thing to do, if this means you have to set a boundary, do it. Okay? Warrior is more about perfectionism and burnout, but for me right now, Warrior and Brawler together, I'm not going to go with the traditional reading on this card. I'm feeling like Spirit saying, you're going to have to sit with yourself, get in your Queen of Swords energy, right? Balance out the feelings, and don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to say, hey, this isn't working for me. Can we change XYZ, right? Whatever this decision is, whatever you are putting off, pulling the trigger on, you have some concerns. Once you get your head and your heart and your will all balanced out, you're going to come to a decision. And Spirit's encouraging you to think of yourself first and don't be afraid to be the warrior. Don't be afraid to do what has to be done. Okay? I feel compelled to call one more card for you. I know decisions like this are never easy to make, especially if you feel like you're going to hurt somebody's feelings or have to say no to them. But sometimes it has to happen, and sometimes it's for their highest good, whether you realize it or not. True story. So, I mean, it's a new moon in Pisces. Let's use a Moonology card, right? That seems appropriate. You're familiar with this deck, I'm sure, if you're watching a tarot channel. It's one of my favorites. Any last words for the collective? Any last words for the collective? Running out of space for the cards. You guys, when my budget allows, I'm getting a bigger desk and a chair with rollers. All right. Any last words for the collective? Okay. Yeah. So this is the card that I got. Full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan, which is basically what the Page of Stakes or the Page of Wands was saying. You've got to have a strategy. You've got to think outside the box and think about your strategy before you implement anything or say anything to anybody. At the bottom though, the bottom of the deck, I got full moon in Libra. A win-win outcome is forecast. You guys are going to make the right choice. You are. You just need a little prodding. So consider me your prodding for today. If you hung around for this whole thing, I appreciate your time. Like, comment, subscribe. Please help me grow this channel. And if you've already done so, thank you. The guys who left some comments for me last week, I appreciate it. The encouragement it means more than you know. So I appreciate it. And I'm going to go clean my apartment. I'm going to go release some dust and some stagnant feelings and get everything cleaned up here and set my intentions for my home and hearth for this year, since Pisces is in my 4th house. If you don't know what house of your chart Pisces is in, Go check it out. There's free stuff all over online, like astrology.com, I think, probably has a free natal chart available. But yeah, take a look at it. It's interesting, always interesting. And I wish you the best of luck on making this decision because you're going to do the right thing. All right. Y'all take care. I'll see you next time. And remember, don't be nice, be kind, but especially to yourself, okay?